Do you struggle to get enough sleep, fall asleep, or stay asleep throughout the night? In today's episode, I'm going to share the perfect wind down routine that will help you overcome these challenges and start getting better sleep right away. This simple, easy to follow routine will regulate your circadian rhythm, quiet your mind, and help you fall asleep with ease. By the end of this episode, you're going to have a step-by-step plan to improve your sleep and wake up feeling refreshed. Before we dive in, if you're listening on the Apple Podcast app or on Spotify, make sure you hit the follow button. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below. Really excited to talk about the perfect wind down routine to get better sleep, because by the time this episode comes out, you guys will have hopefully heard from Devin Burke. We had a 2-part series with Devin Burke all about the science of sleep and then practical strategies to help you fall asleep. And I wanted to kind of bring it all together and provide you with a perfect wind down routine, because I think that we all know the importance of morning routines and what that can do, forming a good routine, what that can do for our life and for our days. But I really believe that a wind down routine is a next level. It's like, let's form that morning routine first, and then let's dial in a wind down routine to really cap off the day with a great thing. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be 7 steps to this wind down routine, but none of them are that difficult. None of them are hard to follow. They should be pretty darn simple. And every single one of you guys listening right now, if you're committed to getting better sleep and you actually want to get better sleep, you can do this. There's a lot of people out there who complain about their sleep. They struggle to fall asleep and they complain about it. They struggle to stay asleep and they complain about it, but they continue to do the same thing over and over again, and they expect different results. You can't complain about something without changing your habits. Like, to me, I'm going to try to keep my calm here. When somebody complains about something and they don't change their habits to fix the thing that they're complaining about, I have no sympathy for you. You have no reason to complain. You can only complain, which won't even help you, if you are continually curious and continuing to work on things that you think will help solve the thing that you're complaining about. And so those of you guys who are listening, if you don't get good sleep, please, please, please start to implement some of these strategies. Please, please, please start to implement this wind down routine. It's not that difficult. It just takes dedication. Write down these 7 steps and let's get to it. All right, step number 1. And this kind of goes in order of kind of your end of your workday until actually falling asleep. So step number 1 is plan the following day. People. Preparation provides you with so much mental clarity and provides you with so much mental peace. If you know what you're doing the next day and what you're going to get done, when you're falling asleep, your mind is not going to be racing about all the things that you have to do the next day, or what am I going to do? When am I going to do it? So plan the following day. The primary reason is to quiet your mind, obviously. And then the secondary reason, which should be the primary reason, is because you're going to be so much more efficient and effective the next day. But start off by finishing your workday by planning the following day. That's step 1. Number 2 is to ensure that you finish dinner or finish your last piece of food at least 1 hour before bedtime. More ideal would be something like 2 hours, and Devin Burke recommends 3 hours, but I just think that's probably not all that practical for most of us. And for me, sometimes it might be 45 minutes just because of how early I go to bed. But if you can finish your last piece of food at least 1 hour before bedtime, that helps to allow your body to go through the digestion process before falling asleep. Because what Devin Burke talks about is that if your body is working on digesting when you're falling asleep, then you're not able to fully get into deep sleep like you otherwise could. And so we don't want to compete. Our body doesn't want to compete for digestion and getting rest. We want to be able to just fully focus on resting and getting into that deep sleep. So finishing dinner or your last piece of food at least 1 hour before bedtime, or maybe 2. The third step is having a magnesium supplement. Now, full transparency, I've never had a magnesium supplement, but I also, for the most part, don't struggle with sleep. And I like doing these other things first before spending money on something. But I do believe in Devin Burke's belief in a magnesium supplement. Now, one of the things that he did say, that I think is absolutely critical is that you have to get a magnesium supplement that can actually be absorbed by the body. Now, I'm sure that no matter what magnesium supplement you get, there will be some benefits and you will be able to absorb some of it. But if you want to get a maximally absorbable magnesium supplement, what he said, and I haven't tried this out, so don't hold me to this, but he said the magnesium spray is from this one company that he mentioned in the episode is really good for absorption into our system. But magnesium helps to calm us down at night. So we can get magnesium from our food, but he believes that, and I probably would believe this would believe this too. I haven't seen the data on it, but because our nutrient depleted soil, we don't get as much magnesium from traditionally magnesium high foods because of the nutrient poor soil that we now use in today's world. But anyways, step 1 is plan the following day. Step 2 is finish your food at least an hour before bedtime. Step 3 is add in a magnesium supplement. Step number 4 is to turn off your lights or dim the lights at least 30 minutes before going to bed. What he talked about is how this helps to regulate your circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is essentially regulated by what's called the suprachiasmatic nucleus in our brain. And that is regulated by our sensory of light. And so when we see the morning sunlight, that helps to regulate our circadian rhythm. And we see the afternoon sunset, that helps to regulate our circadian rhythm, getting our body ready for bed. But a lot of us aren't going to be outside watching the sunset every single night. So we can do what he called an indoor sunset and dim our lights as we get closer to bed, or turn off the lights as we get closer to bed to help regulate your circadian rhythm. So turn off your lights or dim your lights at least 30 minutes before going to bed. Step number 5 is turn down your AC to 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, the reason for this is because in order to actually fall asleep, your body temperature has to decrease by about 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit. If our body temperature does not decrease, then we're going to have a really tough time falling asleep. And so if we can simply turn down our thermostat to the ideal range of about 65 to 68 degrees, maybe even have an overhead fan or a standing fan by us to help to cool down our internal body temperature, that's going to help us to fall asleep and stay asleep. Step number 6 is do something to clear your mind. For me, sometimes that's watching a mindless show. That could be for you meditation, that could be reading, that could be stretching, something to just quiet your mind and provide you with some stillness and not having your mind be racing about a million different things. So number 6 is do something to clear your mind. And then step number 7, oh gosh, people, please, 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 if you do any of these steps, do step number 7. Step number 7 is don't look at your phone and put it away from your bed. Those of you guys who are in the 10-week transformation, you know how much I'm big on this. You know how much I harp on this. And I think it's the simplest thing that is done by the least amount of people. I really believe that. I think that putting your phone away from your bed and not looking at it at night, not scrolling through it at night is the simplest thing done by the least amount of people. Most of you guys listening, I'm not trying to call you out, but you're probably scrolling on your phone. Whether that's right before you get in bed or when you're in bed, you're scrolling on your phone. And what do you think that does to your mind? Do you think that puts your mind at peace? Or do you think that leaves you to comparing yourself? Do you think that leads to worry? What do you think that leads to? Put your phone away from your bed so you're not scrolling through it. And the other thing that it does, like actually physiologically, is if we're looking at light right before we go to bed, that disrupts our circadian rhythm, because that circadian rhythm is like, oh, it's still light outside. It's not time to fall asleep yet. But if you put it away, then it helps to regulate that circadian rhythm, letting your body know that it's time to go to bed. So you guys, again, each of these 7 steps are simple, but simple doesn't mean easy. Simple just means simple. I really hope you write these 7 down. And if you don't do all 7 of them, at least do a couple of them. And I promise you, those of you guys who are out there struggling with sleep, this will help to improve your sleep darn near immediately. Number 1, plan your following day at the end of your workday. Number 2, finish eating at least 1 hour before bedtime. Number 3, take a magnesium supplement. Number 4, turn off lights or dim your lights at least 30 minutes before getting in bed. Number 5, turn your AC or thermostat down to 65 to 68 degrees. Number 6, do something to clear your mind. Number 7, don't look at your phone and put it away from your bed. I hope you write these down. And I hope if you're somebody who struggles with sleep, I hope as you're doing your next wind down routine that you start to implement some of these things. And I guarantee you, more regular implementation of more of these steps will lead to falling asleep and staying asleep and getting higher quality sleep so you can wake up the next day rejuvenated and energized and ready to crush the day. I hope today helps you. If you guys need some accountability to get better sleep, make sure you join the next 10-week transformation. At the time of the release of this episode, the next 10-week transformation is going to be 2025. And man, oh man, are we going to go off in 2025 here at Best You. Here at Best You in the 10WT, we are going to go off in 2025. We're going to help more people than ever before. We're going to have you get you better results than ever before. And I am so excited to take things to a whole nother level. So stay tuned for the release of the 2025 10WT schedule. The first one will be starting mid-January. So just be on the lookout. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at carrier_bestyou to get all that information. I hope today's helps you get better sleep, helps you get closer to the healthiest version of yourself, and ultimately get you closer and closer to your best you.